Greetings ladies and gentlefish. In this video we're going to see a little bit more of me playing around. I'm going to be driving in both of these games, it'll be two games. I'm going to be driving the RU-251 Sparpanzer, the German Tier 8 light tank. Now bear in mind when you see these games, one, my crew is rather naff. Don't think I have sixth sense, and basically my German light tank crew ended up getting retrained to lots of different vehicles, and because I retrained for credits, it means their crew skill is a bit rubbish. So, yeah. The other thing is, in neither of these games is my Sparpanzer going to be fully upgraded. Now, you only get one gun on this thing, so that's fine. The main things that make a difference are the engine and the suspension. It's the mobility of the machine. Cannot remember exactly which modules I did and did not have when I played this game and the next, but I'm not fully upgraded and my crew's a bit naff, so bear those in mind. We're here in a Tier 9 game, which is of course the best matchmaking the RU-251 gets. For those who don't know, light tanks are of course match-made as if they were a tank one tier higher, or they are at sort of Tier 5 and above. So a Tier 8 light tank receives matchmaking as if it were a Tier 9, so the best it sees are Tier 9 games and the worst are of course Tier 10 games. STA1 over there, put a shot into him. So this is the best matchmaking you get in the RU-251. We're here on highway map, and just trying to put some shots into some people. Hello Mr. AMX, we'll put one into you, and of course don't have sixth sense, so I'm just assuming that I'm going to get spotted every time I fire the gun basically, and I just back off and rinse and repeat. And yes, I know I'm reusing the same position, but it's the only position up here with any sort of cover, which is in a way kind of makes it obvious where you might be, but I'm banking on the fact that if they do get a shot they'll shoot some of my more obvious friends, hopefully. But I guess that remains to be seen a little bit. We've lost a T-37 so far, not the end of the world, and there's an IS-3, put a shot into him. The 190 pen with the AP rounds on this gun is enough to usually deal with the targets you face. 190 alpha, pen, sorry, 240 alpha with heat ammo, that goes up to 250 pen. And your HE rounds actually have 102 penetration and 320 alpha damage, which is high penetration for a 90mm heat round. They're basically HEP rounds. They're essentially, think of them as British HESH rounds in terms of how they're implemented in the game. They're high explosive rounds with high penetration. So KV3 don't have a shot. AMX 5100, yeah, he's deciding that hiding behind a building is probably the way he wants to go. Can't really say I blame him given the situation that he is currently in. So we're going to move forward from this position, which has kind of outstayed its usefulness. Can we get any shots on the KV3 over there? Well, maybe if he wasn't hiding behind a building. Oh, he's moving from out of the building. Excellent. Take a shot, but it just bounces off his turret, which is a little unfortunate, but there we go. These things happen, and there we go. That shot finds its mark. We might even be able to pick up the kill on this guy. That would be nice. There we go. Kill number 1. Excellent. So, just looking around us, we know there's the Tier 9 waffle thrower, was last spotted up by the enemy base. Scoreline is 6-3 by the way, so we have a nice lead. Tier 9 waffle thrower is now dead. There's a Borsig over there, and of course there's also whoever was in the town. Now it's entirely possible that whoever was in the town is going to have gone back through the town to go and defend their base. That would certainly not be a terrible idea. One interesting thing to note with the Sparpanzer actually, and this is in common, that was a terrible shot, with, sorry, just to interrupt myself, with pretty much any other gun that would have been fine, but the really bad shell travel time on this gun means that you need to lead your shots quite a lot. Anyway, we managed to hit that AMX 1390 with the second shot, set him on fire and actually pick up the kill. Anyway, I was saying, one interesting thing about the RU-251, and this is in common with some of the other higher tier German tanks, is that it gets better gun depression over the sides than over the front or rear. Frontal gun depression is a pretty uninspiring 5 degrees. Gun depression over the side of the tank is a perfectly usable 8 degrees. So, there's that. Shots now into the side of a Super Pershing, who is sitting still, making it relatively easy for me to hit. Looks like we track him into the bargain, and someone else picks up the kill. Got 6 of them left now. I mean, we should win this as long as we don't do anything really monumentally stupid, and as long as they don't play like a bunch of utter bosses. But all the same, let's see what else we can do. It'd be nice to try and get as good a result out of this game as we can. So there's the Conqueror. And again, remember, I have no idea when I get spotted. He is stationary, and that shot misses, due in no small part to the terrible shell velocity. Looks like the Conqueror might be looking at me, so I have another shot and then back off. And indeed, I actually take what feels like... Well, how much damage did I take? That was, what, 470? Could have been a very high roll from the Conqueror. Yeah, it must have been a high roll from the Conqueror. I can't think who else it would have been. Jammy swine. Well, Conqueror is now dead. T-55A is over there. There's also, of course, the Borsig and the T-34 and the AMX-5120. So we, broadly speaking, know where all the bad guys are. And so I'm going to see if I can put shots into their backsides. And the Sparpanzer... So, the Sparpanzer has no armour, but it's a light tank. You don't expect any armour. It's a fast little machine. I think it looks really good. And the 90mm gun actually gets a pretty good rate of fire, giving it, for a tier 8 light tank, pretty respectable DPM. I mean, when you compare it to its competitors, the AMX 1390 gets an auto-loader, so it will have lower DPM, but that's not really comparable. I don't know about the T-54 lightweight. The Chinese, the WZ, oh god, AMX, WZ-132 gets a lower rate of fire but higher penetration, and there's a 5916, he puts one shot into me. Our high explosive round doesn't actually penetrate, which is slightly annoying, and now that 5916 is all out of ammo. That round also misses, and this 5916 gets a pretty fast magazine reload. He can kill me. Let's make no mistake about that. We put a shot into him, he puts a shot into us, we leave him on low health, but he doesn't manage to get the kill. I only have 35 health remaining now. Trying to use the gun depression to see if I can pick up a shot, and there's the shot, and there's the kill. If we'd have actually connected our HE rounds and they'd have all penetrated, we could have nailed him in 2 shots, but it took 3. In the end, 4, because I missed one, because I'm an idiot. There's the T-34, there's the Borsig. We take a shot on the T-34 on the move, but we miss. Borsig is getting worked over, and we're just seeing if we can shoot any of these other guys. Trying to see if we can finish off the Borsig. There we go. There's kill number 4. And T-55 is actually looking this way and takes me down, which is a little unfortunate, but there you go. Them's the breaks. And eventually, my team will, given sufficient time, although this IS-3 is really making a dog's dinner of this, there we go, finish off Lord Westhard, which is an interesting name, in his T-55A and round the game off. So that game ended up being enough for First Class Mastery, Fire for Effect, Fighter, Arsonist, Spotter, and Bruiser ribbons. You can see there I had a bunch of crew who were getting close to another crew skill, which is nice. 2,697 damage done, 4 kills, 1,285 base experience. Only enough for First Class Mastery, so people do seem to perform fairly well in the RU-251 here. And you may be wondering about that high base experience. I also picked up 2,626 assistance damage, mainly on the T-54 and that T-55A toward the end. In fact, it looked like possibly solely on those two. 19 shots fired, 15 hits, 13 pens for that damage count. Most of it was from relatively close range. Received 8 hits, of which all of them penetrated. You can't usually expect to take 8 hits before you die. It was only because I was being shot by the 5916, which has a pretty small gun. 9 enemy vehicles damaged, 4 of them destroyed. Like I said, 2,626 assistance damage, and we were running a premium account at the time, so that was a 31,000 credit profit. Without premium, it still would have been a 14,500 credit profit, so assistance damage does indeed make you cash. Times 2 experience event, well, not an event, it's just daily double, what am I talking about, for almost 4,000 XP overall, and more than 4,000 once you factor in the free XP. Let's go and have a look at another game. Okay, here we go with another game then. A reminder, of course, that although my crew and tank were better in this game than the last one that I just showed you, the tank still isn't fully upgraded and my crew still isn't fantastic, so you're not going to see Sixth Sense or any of that good stuff. Here on Redshire this time, which is a pretty good light tank map, all things considered. Not as good as it once was, but pretty good. And this is a tier 10 game, so this is the worst matchmaking you see in the RU251. There are 3 tier 10s on each team. The enemy have an FV215B, IS-7 and a tier 10 Waffle Thrower. We have an IS-7, a Batchat and a Leopard. Now, initially on this map, I tend to like to go over toward the 9 and 0 lines if I'm in a light tank, and get some initial spots on people. A lot of the positions where you could get some actual assistance damage going have kind of been nerfed, removed, whatever, so it's quite awkward to do that. But coming around here just to spot those guys as they head down to the 9 and 0 lines does give your team information about how many tanks and what tanks they are likely to be facing. So for example, my team knows they're going to be facing on the 9 and 0 lines an Object 704, IS-3, FV215B and an IS-7. There may be others there, but they know they will be facing those guys at the very least. Trying to get a shot on this T-54, remembering of course the shell travel time on this gun is pretty abysmal, so I switch over to RU251. That's not a shot I can make. And ooh, people are actually getting lit up here, so let's see if we can take advantage. Behind a rock, that's never going to penetrate the Tortoise, and I don't have a shot on the T-49 anymore because he is no longer spotted. So a little bit bad there. I probably could have taken a shot at maybe the T-49. And gotten some damage on him. So a bit of a misplay on my part, if I'm going to be honest. Scoreline is 1-0 as we've managed to kill their Borsig. Still trying to get a shot on that T-49, still with no success. T-54 is also hidden from me. T-54E1 is now hidden, but wasn't originally. So this game gets off to a little bit of a slow start. And, yeah, it will get a little bit more interesting toward the end, I promise. T-54 turns his side, and so we managed to put 261 damage into his side. Didn't really want to take the shot at his front. I was very unlikely to penetrate his frontal armor, so just waited for him to show me his side. Do that again. Low roll, damage roll that time, but we got a high roll the first time, so I can't really complain too much. And whoa, T-54 actually bounces off me. Now I don't know if I was spotted. There's quite a lot of cover between me and them, so I'm wondering if that was actually just a blind shot from the T-54 in my general direction. Remembering, of course, as I keep mentioning, no Sixth Sense, so I didn't know if I'd been spotted or not. We lose our VKB, which is a little unfortunate, but there we go. And trying to get some shots in to support this AMX 1390, but no dice. Playing kind of fire supporty here because I'm very conscious that most of our big tanks, if you will, have gone down the 9 and 0 lines. And if I move forward too much, I was really worried about being spotted, surrounded, etc. And remember, of course, that when I played this game, I still hadn't played that many games in the RU251, so I was still trying to get used to it. And not quite sure exactly what its capabilities are. And the lack of Sixth Sense means that I really didn't want to get spotted, so playing it more cautiously than I might otherwise have done. The Leopard 1 has moved relatively far forward. You know, he's on that little hill that you can use to get shots on people. It's quite a nice position to use, but can sometimes be overwhelmed. And there's an IS-3. And we have shots on the guy, so... No, Tortoise. Ooh, Tortoise. Yeah, that's not a good shot. I'll never penetrate his front. Go for the little loaders, machine gun port thing, but no dice. Switch to the IS-3. Bounce the first shot. IS-3 side armor is so frustrating to shoot at. And managed to get the tracking shot just there. I mean, I wasn't specifically aiming for the track there. But I was conscious that it was a possibility. With the slow shell travel time on this gun, I was just mainly aiming for centre of mass. These shots, however, I am aiming for the track. I'm trying to keep the guy well, tracked there. One more shot should finish this guy off. Unfortunately, our Leopard falls. Nope, that one didn't do it. We're going to try one more round at him. There we go. And there's the kill on the IS-3. Now, as I say, unfortunately, our Leopard bites the dust. But we at least managed to make the IS-3 fall for it, and the T-54 and T-54E1 have also both gone down for their troubles. Now we have the side of the Tortoise, and we'll take that any day of the week. Not sure if that shot hit/penetrated. Hopefully it did. Unfortunately, back on the other flank, the 9-0 lines have kind of fallen apart a little bit. Now the scoreline is actually 9-9. If you look at the tanks remaining on both teams, we have, you know, our only tier 10 that remains is a Batchat, no armour. Object 704 and SU-12254, they can bounce a shot here or there, but you don't really want to use them to tank with per se. And then of course me and a tier 8 artillery piece. So we don't have anything with any real armour. The enemy team do. The enemy team have more, shall we say, straightforward tanks to play. So there you can see a nice shot. 190 penetration is enough to take on the front of an IS-3, and I'm trying to keep this guy lit up so that my allies can shoot him as well. Someone's putting fire into me. My money is on it being the Tortoise from the ridgeline, so I don't want to give him easy shots at me. At the same time, I do want this IS-3 to be lit up, and he's actually spotting me now, which is kind of unfortunate. The enemy artillery is also having a go, and there's a shot. Wow, almost 500 damage in one round. Maybe that was a high roll from the Tortoise. Maybe he loaded HE, although I would consider that unlikely. Anyway, our artillery polishes off the IS-3. It could also have been the IS-7 shooting me, I guess. That's probably a more likely scenario, seeing as he has 490 alpha, and it doesn't look like the Tortoise really has a shot on me. Going for the Tortoise myself, but nah, it looked like that shot was probably going to hit the front armour, so I doubt that really did the job. And I'm just trying to see if I can spot any of these guys again. Trying to use the bushes, of course, to my advantage. No spotting, no spotting. Okay. Alright, well, let's not just sit here indefinitely. Oh, Tortoise. Okay. Now, that's the front of the Tortoise. That's not going to work. Oh, Tortoise is dead. Never mind. It's okay. Torty down. So that leaves the IS-7, the Waffle Thrower, and the 2 artillery pieces. And the IS-7, although it's a Soviet heavy tank, it's a tier 10 Soviet heavy tank, and so you can't play quite the same view range games that you can with like an IS-3 with its 350 meter view range. I mean, I should still have the view range and the camo advantage, but it's not going to be as pronounced as it would with the IS-3. Waffle Thrower has been spotted over on E1. He's still over there, so I'm loading the HE rounds to try and put as much damage down on that guy if I can. For those who don't know, the Waffenträger auf E100 might have the hull of an E100, but the turret, you could pen it with a tier 1. So I'm loading my 102 odd pen HE rounds, sorry. I think they're HEP rounds, high explosive plastic or something. Oh, high explosive DM502, whatever. To try and put down as much damage as I can onto that guy. Batchat's found one of the enemy artillery. And there's the Waffle Thrower. Okay, relocating. And it looks like that Batchat is in a lot of trouble. He lost a lot of health to the Waffle Thrower for very little gain. See if we can find these guys. Look like the artillery might have been cresting that ridge for some reason, but no dice. And there's the IS-7, and there's the artillery piece. So I actually switched back to armor piercing here. Ah well. Have a shot, take off most of the health of that tier 8 artillery piece, who is now behind cover. And so just going to see if I can possibly put a shot into this IS-7. Depends which way the guy's looking. That looks like it might be his rear, but I bounce. Whether it was his rear or not, I don't know, but don't manage to penetrate the shot. I've switched to heat ammo now in an effort to try and nail the kill on the IS-7, but switch back to armor piercing because I don't know who I'm going to be facing. Now we have to be careful here. I only have 708 health left. The IS-7 is capable of two-shotting me. In fact, if he loads HE, he might even be capable of one-shotting me. The Waffenträger with that big fat auto-loading gun is capable of killing me in the space of about 2 seconds. And the artillery is, of course, also a problem. I mean, a direct hit from artillery would really wreck my day. So, coming up, trying to spot people, there's the Lorraine from earlier on. Remembering I don't have 6th sense, so rather than trying to get the shot on the Lorraine, I just back off. I do not want to go up, get greedy, try and kill the Lorraine and die to a hidden waffle thrower for my efforts. And as it is, the friendly artillery manages to nail the guy anyway. So, 4 plays 3 now. Again, 1 artillery piece, an IS-7, and a tier 10 waffle thrower. But we're down to 4 minutes of this match left. SU-122-54 is moving up, and I don't really want to let him go it alone. So, moving up to these ridges, trying to spot the... oh, there's the waffle thrower. He's been a busy boy, having moved a wee distance. Have AP loaded, as it is the AP misses. Travel time on these shells, as I mentioned, is horrific. Waffle thrower is tracked. 330 through the turret with my HE round. That one misses, which is actually kind of unlucky. I thought that one was a pretty well aimed shot, but there we go. Don't know if that one hit or not, but as it is, the artillery finishes him off. And the waffle thrower is down, so going back to loading armor piercing. Although, going after this artillery... So, here's the thing. Going after this artillery, I know this artillery has 390 health, so I'm very unlikely to one-shot him with HE. And with HE, you also have the possibility you could just, of course, explode on his tracks and do very little damage. So he'll be a 2-shot for my HE rounds. He'd be a 2-shot for my AP rounds anyway, so I go for the AP on the basis that it's probably a little bit more reliable. There's 1 shot in. And just let the artillery do its job. I don't really want to die to this guy at the moment. I'd rather secure the game by finding the IS-7. But he's fired now, so he's completely at my mercy. And there's 1 artillery piece dead. So that's my 2nd kill. Going to find the last remaining tank on the enemy team, which is the IS-7. We know he doesn't have a huge amount of health left, and we know roughly where he is. The 2 tank destroyers are actually capping, and going to try and spot this IS-7. There he is. He has 297 health, so it'll take 2 shots. Now he's on the other side of that sort of little hill area, so I'm trying to go around the long way and get him from behind. But as it is, the SU-122-54 actually picks up the kill, and that is the game. Another game that was sufficient for first class mastery. Got Fire for Effect, Bruiser, and the Spotter ribbons. And if we actually look at the damage panel over here, you'll see I hit the waffle thrower twice, so it looked like that HE shell that we didn't see did actually find its mark. So that would have been on average another, 320 damage to him. 3,296 damage done, 2 kills, another game over 1,200 base XP. Again, remembering my crew isn't great and my tank was not fully upgraded. Pick up 2 kills as well into the bargain. Commiserations to the enemy IS-7, almost 5,000 damage and 3 kills. He seems to have played a good game. If you look at our team, there aren't necessarily any outstanding performances. The object got almost 4,000 damage, but it is an object 704, I mean, go figure. And I managed, as I say, that damage count and quite a lot of XP. 24 shots fired, 20 hits, 14 pens for that damage count, most of which was actually from relatively close range. 2 hits received, 1 penetrated, 1 did not, and 1 hit as a result of splash damage. No shots actually blocked by our armor, so the shot that didn't penetrate must have gone into our tracks. 5 enemy tanks spotted, 7 damage, 2 destroyed, and 1,778 assistance damage on top of everything else. Having travelled 5.3 kilometers, light tanks really can get the miles done. premium account at the time, so that was a 36, basically, 1,000 credit profit. Even with a standard account, that would have been 19,500 credit profit. And with XP, times 3 event at the time, so we got 5,500 experience for that, which was nice. So there we go, a couple of outings in the RU251. You know, they were just sort of my first showings in the tank. I haven't played it that much. I will play it more as time goes on. I do quite enjoy the tank. Although light tanks at the moment are a bit underwhelming, shall we say. Nonetheless, I do quite enjoy the tank. So I hope you guys enjoyed that pair of games. If you did, by all means, feel free to catch some of my other videos and or subscribe to my channel. And I wish you very happy hunting on that battlefield. Ciao, ciao.